Hey, what's up everyone? Last night was the developer livestream for the 2.0 update to 7 days, and we got our first detailed in-game look at all of the new content and systems that are going in. So in this video, I'm going to review everything that was discussed and show you a preview or a summary of everything to expect next week in the big update. Note that experimental release for PC players, that's basically like an open beta, that's going to be on Monday, June 16th, and the stable build, the official 2.0 release for PC and for console, is slated to be on June 30th. Let's start off by looking at all of the new zombies. First of all, we have two brand new zombie types, if you could call them zombies. The first one is going to be the Plague Spitter. Definitely this gives me Imhotep vibes from the old Mummy movie back in the 90s. It looks like he's going to be found exclusively in the desert biome and perhaps on Horde Night as well. And his special ability is that he'll summon a swarm of flies that'll kind of swarm around you and harass you. The flies themselves are their own sort of entity and they are weak to melee, so try not to waste too many bullets on them. Next up, we have the Frost Claw. This guy's of course going to be found in the snow biome. He has a special ranged attack, a unique attack where he picks up a boulder out of the ground and throws it at you from a distance. We're going to be seeing this one on Horde Night as well for sure. The indication is that the throwing attack will do extra block damage. Now here's a look at the new Grace model. This has been teased for years and we're finally getting the new Grace model, and man, this looks absolutely sick. Can't wait to find Grace out there in the wild. But in addition to the new zombies and Grace, we're also getting sort of a couple of new zombie variants. First off, we're going to have charged blue zombies. So in the progression of things, you have like regular zombies, ferals, then radiated zombies. Now we're having two tiers above that. The first one is charged blue zombies. These will appear at an advanced game stage, so think like, end game, wasteland, tier 5 POIs, things like that. So these are like a higher tier than green radiated zombies. They have a little bit faster movement than rads do, a little bit faster attack speed, and they have more hit points. But not all zombies will come in this variant, and that brings me to the infernal orange zombies. These are also an advanced game stage variant. They have more HP. They don't move fast like the charged blue zombies do, but they do have a special ability. They do more block damage. And the heavier, kind of beefier zombies come in this variant versus the blue ones. So think like bikers and cops and stuff like that. In addition to all of this, we'll see new zombie behaviors. First of all, zombies will be able to crawl out of 1 meter spaces. So in this example right here, you have just a 1x1 cube area, and zombies are spawning in and crawling out of this area. So during the stream, they talked about scenarios where instead of fighting large groups of like 30 zombies all at once, you'll have a situation where the zombies are kind of trickling out of these little hidden gaps around you. So you always have to be kind of searching around for more zombies that seemingly come out of nowhere. Along with being able to sort of spawn in these 1 meter gaps, they can also crawl under a 1 meter gap. So in this example here, we have zombies that are crawling under this shelf, and this has big implications for fighting, for horde bases and stuff like that, because usually if you put like a hatch in a doorway, you'll be able to block most of the zombies out. It'll be interesting to see now what happens when you have that 1 meter space. Will the zombies be able to crawl up and over? I did also notice that the animation for crawling has improved, but this is on walking speed, so we'll have to wait and see what it looks like when they're on running or sprinting speed. Next up, let's take a look at the new Biome System. So there's going to be a new, and this is the important part right here, it's a selectable feature for new biome progression. So in other words, you can turn this off and go back to classic mode, or you can have this new biome progression system. So let's look into it. First off, you're going to have a limited amount of time if you enter into a new biome. So if you're in the forest biome, you start there and you walk into the burnt forest biome, you're going to be on a timer. And if you exceed this time limit, you're going to start taking damage and you'll eventually die. You can craft consumable food items. These are going to be called biome smoothies. Not sure what the recipe is on these just yet. And these will extend your timer so that you can spend a little bit more time in the area. But to gain full immunity, like if you wanted to live in a new biome, you're going to need to get a biome badge. To get your biome badge, you have to complete 7 tasks per biome. So for example, we'll look at the burnt forest biome here. You're going to have to wear a piece of armor. You're going to have to harvest 5 mushrooms, craft the burnt smoothie, which probably contains those mushrooms. You'll have to mine nitrate, kill burnt zombies, loot any container in the burnt biome a few times, and survive for 20 minutes. Once you complete all 7 tasks, you'll go back to the trader. The trader will give you your badge and you can apply your your badge to your character in this little UI spot right here. So that's quite a lot of work that you have to put in to advance from one biome to another. So why go through all the hassle? Well, you're going to have a loot cap in each biome. That means that the quality and the tier of loot is going to max out at a certain point for each biome. So in order to get better loot, you're going to have to go into the more advanced biomes. Just as a reminder though, all of this that I've mentioned here with the biomes can be disabled in the game options for a classic progression style like the way it currently works right now in 1.0, if that's what you prefer. So going along with this biome theme, we're also seeing the introduction of special weather events. Of course, we have weather in 7 days right now, but it really doesn't have any effect on your character other than visually. Now we're going to have weather events that will actually damage your character and harm you if you're caught out in the elements for too long. So when a storm is starting to brew, you're going to get an indication on your HUD that you need to seek shelter, and you'll have a bit of a timer before you start getting hurt. If you remain outdoors during the storm, you're going to end up taking damage, like maybe 1 HP per second. Once you go inside, that malice is removed, and so you're just going to have to like wait out the storm indoors, and then you can go back outside once it clears. I have heard on the forums that weather events will not overlap with Horde Night. Next up, we have a pretty significant rework of how these skills and attributes work. First off, and this is something I've been advocating for years now, there's going to be a new general skill tab for skills that don't necessarily apply to particular attributes. For the 5 attribute trees, all skills now go up to level 5, and there are several new skills since they've moved things around a little bit. In the strength tree, we can see 2 of them. We have Grand Slam and Junk Miner. In the agility tree, we see that we have hard target. That might mean that you're able to evade certain attacks by zombies. In the fortitude tree, we have siphoning strikes. This is like vampirism, basically. Every time you kill a zombie with melee, you will gain hit points back. And we also see the addition of a new skill mastery perk for all attributes. Now, this gives you some random buffs that seem to be relevant to that attribute. In the agility mastery, we see things like, leg hits have a chance to cripple enemies for the first one. Then you can reload handguns 20% faster. Now handguns cause bleeding. With level 4, you can dodge the first attack from any zombie. And the last one gives you a damage boost for archery. And finally, there's going to be a brand new book set dedicated to sledgehammers. And you can see the long list of very powerful buffs that you're going to get for sledgehammers right here. As always, with the new update, we're going to see the addition of new POIs. This time around, about 150 new POIs will be added to the game. Many of them will be remnants though, basically unquestable, kind of broken down, decrepit old POIs that are used to kind of fill in the world a little bit. There's less loot there, there's less zombies there, and so it's a little bit less taxing on consoles, on computers, and so by filling the world in with this a little bit, it increases performance. However, we are getting 3 brand new tier 5, and they're calling these like special wilderness types of POIs, so they're going to be a huge size, 100 by 100 meters. The 3 of them are called Coria Rockworks, which is the quarry, Hybrid Mining, which is a mine, and there's the third one that we did not get to see, and it's some kind of an underground government facility. So probably something like Red Mesa meets Karen Hagashi House, something like that. And there were a bunch of miscellaneous things, so I'll just kind of fire through these real quick. We're going to get new food models and also like eating or injecting animations. Now these are pretty good. I'm not sure what's going on with the spaghetti right here, but anyway, I'm excited to see that they finally added this. We're also getting transmog, which means you're basically going to be able to wear one set of armor but look like a different set of armor. So once you have obtained a certain set of armor, you've unlocked it in the appearance window, so you can go into your character and just modify your appearance based on what you've found or crafted so far. I did see in this window here that there are icons for the desert armor, the hoarder armor, and the marauder armor, which have long been teased but not released yet. I do believe that these will be released as either Twitch drops or DLC during the 2.0 update. In 1.0, we saw the addition of wandering sleepers. Basically, there's just going to be like zombies that are wandering around inside POIs as you're trying to clear them out. They're really leaning into this. They're adding a lot more of this in 2.0, so you can expect to see a little bit more liveliness when you're clearing out POIs. They have done a lot of work on trees in this update. There's some shader stuff basically for better performance environments, the trees are going to be clustered a little bit more. So you're going to have like clumps of trees and bushes, and then you're going to have kind of openings, clearings where there are no trees to give the world a bit more of a realistic look and feel. The burnt biome is going to have its own burnt trees, and the wasteland is going to have its own kind of creepy mutated trees. I was surprised to hear that they have been working on third person, and this is not going to be ready for 2.0, but Rick did say that it should be ready for like a 2.1 or a 2.2 type of patch, so we can hope to see that sometime this summer. New quest markers have been implemented, so this flag right here indicates that this is where your quest is, this is how you activate your quest. And the last thing to come out of the dev stream was some mention of dedicated servers for cross-play, so that Xbox players, PlayStation players, and PC players can all play together on one server. Now, of course, there are going to be specific settings for this. You're going to have to go down this list of things to make sure that it's all like in sync so that crossplay can be activated. And this has not passed certification yet, so I wouldn't expect it for the experimental release, but this is something that is going to be coming out at some point within 2.0. And that is it for the dev stream recap. Thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a full feature video once I get my hands on 2.0, and I'll be able to play with it and give you more details and more thoughts on how all of this works. I hope you're as excited as I am for all this new content, and I'll see you in the next video.